Hello and welcome to Portrait of a Leader. I'm your host, Jacob Galbraith, and today we're going to be talking about how leadership can take many forms. We're going to explore it through two very different lenses. One is hospitality and the other is fitness management. Now, leadership isn't just about giving orders or managing tasks. It's about connecting with your team, supporting them, inspiring them to do better ultimately, climb the ranks and work even when things get challenging. So essentially motivating them. And today I'm excited to introduce two leaders who have made an impact on my life, who demonstrate different styles of leadership. First, I want to introduce my older brother, Nathan, who is a restaurant manager at Game Changers at Linear Islands. He's been working there for about a year and also helps the other restaurants and banquets and things like that are also on the resort or property. He works in a fast-paced environment where every day is unpredictability, and an environment like this requires flexibility, problem solving, etc. Later, I'm going to be speaking with my old gym manager, Jillian, who is now the regional manager or one of the regional managers for the Anytime Fitness. She's over about 3 locations. She helps oversee staff development and ensures the gym operations run smoothly across several communities. Her experience highlights leadership in a more strategic, growth-oriented environment by hearing from them, we'll explore how leadership principles can apply across different fields, what lessons anyone can take away to improve how they lead, and things like this. And without further ado, I'd love to invite Nathan in. Thanks for joining me today, Nathan. Can we start as with your role as a restaurant manager? Can you tell me a little bit what got you into this originally? Did you start in restaurants? Did you start as a host or a server, something like this?
Well, funny enough, I started as a host and worked my way up into management, which I'm really proud of and take pride in every day.
Wow, that's awesome. Can you kind of walk us through what a typical day at Game Changers potentially looks like for you, like in the restaurant business in general? What is that like for you?
Sure. So every day is different, which is part of what makes it fun. I oversee staff schedules, make sure guests are happy, and handle any issues that come up in the restaurant or entertainment area. Some days are super busy, like when we have big groups or events, and other days are quieter. Leadership here means being ready for anything and keeping the team motivated.
Okay, yeah, it sounds like there's definitely never a dull moment. How do you handle? I guess how would you how do you usually handle unpredictability, like when a large group comes in unexpectedly? I know you guys are doing the nights and lights and things like that out there now, so I'm sure it's super busy. Or when a staff member calls out, how do you normally handle that?
It's really about staying calm and flexible. You can plan as much as possible, but you have to be ready to adapt. Um, Sometimes you just have to think on your feet, rearrange the schedule, or even step in yourself to cover tasks if that's what it takes. The key is showing your team that you're calm and in control, which helps them stay focused.
That's awesome. Can you scoot in a little bit? I think
Yeah,
yeah. Yeah, communication. I mean, it is everywhere, but communication especially seems really important in that environment. Um, how do you make sure that your team stays on um, the same page at all times? Do you like pre-shifts? Do you do something like this?
Absolutely. I try to be clear and concise with instructions, and I make it a point to check in with staff regularly. Um, I also encourage team members to always ask questions if they're unsure about something. Listening is just as important as giving directions. Sometimes they see challenges before I do.
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's part of being a manager. Just communicating with your staff and making sure you notice things that are wrong with your staff. I guess following that question, have you ever faced any situations where I guess something didn't go as you planned, and how did you handle that?
Definitely, that happens all the time. One example is when a large birthday group showed up earlier than expected. Um, our staff was short that day. I quickly had to reorganize assignments, helped where I was needed, and communicated clearly with both the team and the guest. It wasn't perfect, but it worked, and everyone stayed positive. Uh, Situations like that teach you a lot about being flexible and staying calm under pressure.
Yeah, absolutely. I can't even imagine a huge birthday like that coming in. Now, I guess for to shift a little bit, what strategies do you use to help motivate your team during long or stressful shifts, which I'm sure you guys are in right now with the holiday season coming up?
Yeah, so I try to reorganize their hard work in real time, whether it's a simple thank you or a public acknowledgement in front of the team. I like to lead by example, showing how to handle tough situations without losing composure. So sometimes I'll check in personally with staff just to see how they're doing. Small gestures, I believe, make a huge difference in team morale.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Morale is everything, honestly. If they're not happy in front of the guests, then they're going to notice that and, things like that. Now, how do you balance being in charge while also keeping a good relationship with your team?
I think one of the biggest things is it's about respect. You want people to trust you and feel comfortable coming to you, but you also need to be confident in your decisions. So when people see you working alongside them and taking responsibility, it builds trust. Relationships are key. You can't just give orders. You have to connect with each and every person on your team.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. When I worked in restaurants, I love to see the manager coming out and getting their feet wet a little bit and helping us. I think that's a huge morale boost for the team. Um, Now, do you think the skills that you've learned in hospitality help translate to other fields, or?
Um, Absolutely. Communication, problem solving, time management, and staying calm under pressure are all skills that apply anywhere, whether it's running a restaurant, managing a business, or project, leading a team in school. I think these skills are universal.
Now, I totally agree with all that. But before we move on to our next segment, what advice would you give somebody aspiring to become a restaurant manager in the future, if they're a server, a host, whatever it may be right
I would just say be patient, stay organized, be ready to learn every day. Leadership is a lot about helping people succeed, not just ordering them around, telling them what to do. Enjoy learning the process. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. That's one of the biggest things. That's how you grow. So,
now? Yeah, no, absolutely. I think that's wonderful advice. Thanks so much for being a part of this podcast. It's inspiring, even for me every day to see how leadership in a fast-paced environment like yours requires both flexibility, problem solving, and empathy. Now, I want to kind of switch gears a little bit and hear from the other person that's part of my life, in that leadership field. Now, I'm excited to welcome my old gym manager, Jillian, who is now the regional manager for Anytime Fitness. Now, while Nathan's leadership is very hands-on and operational, Jillian here focuses more on coaching, mentoring, and strategic growth. Her experiences show that leadership can look very different depending on the environment, but the core principle is communication, support, and motivating the team to remain the same. Leadership isn't just one size fits all, but these skills are universal. Now, let's hear what she has to share. To start off with, Jillian, thanks for joining me. Can you just tell our listeners a little bit about your role as a regional manager?
Yeah, so my role involves overseeing several gym locations and supporting their managers and staff. I focus on making sure each gym operates smoothly, members have great experiences, and managers are equipped to grow their teams. Leadership here means developing leaders, not just managing operations.
Yeah, totally. I totally agree with that. And it's a little bit of a different perspective than Nathan had, but that's kind of part of it. It's hospitality and gym management. One thing that I wanted to ask is, how would you describe your leadership style?
I definitely say it's more collaborative and empowering. I coach my managers to provide guidance and set clear experience or expectations, but I also trust them to make decisions. I really want them to feel confident taking their own ownership of their gyms while I'm not knowing if I'm available for support.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I think that's a little similar to Nathan, how he likes to take his staff one-on-one on the side and be kind of that emotional support for them. Now, have you ever faced any challenges in your role as a regional manager, Jillian?
Yeah, definitely. I'd say one of the biggest challenges is balancing the needs of multiple gyms at the same time. Staffing shortages, member complaints, or just new policy implementations can pop up. Simultaneously, I focus on prioritization, delegation, and keeping communication open. I think the key is staying present and just ensuring my managers just feel supported through any problems, and just making sure they don't escalate.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think that's so important. Pivoting from that, what strategies do you use to motivate your team across multiple different locations?
I think recognition is huge. I try to make it a point to highlight achievements, whether it's membership growth, staff development, or just excellent member feedback. I also try to provide opportunities for leadership development as well, and just kind of encourage managers to mentor their own teams when people see that they can grow professionally. They stay motivated and engaged.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's the biggest thing, is making sure that they're there with the guests. Making sure that they're able to talk to the clients. And I can't even imagine how busy it is for you now. But how do you manage that workload while also supporting a full team of managers?
I think it's about systems and communication. I schedule regular check-ins, delegate responsibilities, and empower managers to kind of make their decisions independently. But I also try to focus on developing processes that allow the gyms to operate efficiently and just kind of without me being physically there.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And that's, kind of like Nathan in the sense where he checks in with, his staff. At all levels, that's important. But one question, do you think that fitness management shares similarities with other industries? I already pointed one out with, checking in with the staff.
Definitely, I think the core skills, communication, problem solving, motivating teams are universal. The environment definitely differs, but a leader's ability to kind of build trust and empower people and just kind of adapt to challenges is same everywhere. So yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think that there's definitely like a universal way to lead, but everywhere does have a little bit of a difference. Last question: what advice would you give somebody aspiring to be in leadership and fitness or multi-location business?
Definitely investing in your team. Leadership is about growing the people around you and being patient, listening actively, and just kind of providing opportunities for professional development. And just kind of remembering that staying adaptable is critical everywhere. And every location and every team has a unique challenge. So yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and that was a great answer. Thanks so much for coming on the podcast. Yours and Nathan's perspective help highlight how leadership can scale across teams, no matter how big or small they may be. While still being grounded, you still have to be human at the end of the day and have that connection and support with your team. So thanks so much for that. To finish off today, we've been explored two different perspectives on leadership. Nathan shared his insights from a fast-paced hospitality environment while emphasizing quick thinking, hands-on problem solving, and communication. Jillian shared insights from multiple fitness management, focusing on coaching, mentoring, and empowering leaders. The common thread is that leadership is all about people. At the end of the day, that is what it's truly about, is connecting with people. It's about listening, supporting, and inspiring your team. The setting might change, whether it's a restaurant, a gym, a corporate office, but the principles absolutely remain the same. Leadership also means being adaptable, patient, and reflective about your own growth, no matter the field. Good leaders make those around them better. They create environments where people feel supported, respected, and motivated. Lastly, I just want to say thank you to my interviewees for sharing their experiences to our listeners. For our listeners joining us, I hope that these stories inspire you in your own leadership journey, whatever that may be, if it's at gyms or restaurants, school life, work, anything. Today, this has been the Portrait of a Leader. Until next time, keep learning, leading, and inspiring. See you guys later.